Today he's going to be lapping the valves and using a straight edge to check the block, see how flat it is. So y'all check it out.
Alright, I'm going to have to make this quick. I was going to show you the valves and how I'm cleaning up the head. I've roughly scraped the deck of the head or surface of the head with just a gasket scraper. I'll probably come back with the scraper a little bit finer and did some degreaser or brake clean on a rag. But I took the valves out. I was looking at those. This one's maybe not the best example. You can see where the valve's touching the seat. It's not an even contact across it. There's some black specks in there. I have seen a couple of valves that had a black speck all the way across the seat surface. Let me see what the next one here looks like. You need to keep the valves oriented to the hole that they come out of, especially after you lap them, but I'm doing that even before. You get the picture. This was obviously a running motor, but I'm just wanting to touch the valves up while I'm here. So to do that, what you're going to need is some valve grinding compound. The older stuff I had, there was 2 different grits. However, the new compound states that there are 4 grits in one application of valve grinding compound: 220, 180, 150, and 120. It starts with the 120, and as you grind down, it gets to a fine 220. To thin the compound, add a few drops of water. Now, the previous compound I had, I believe, was oil-based. The water-based compound will likely be a little easier to clean up. But in addition to the compound, you're going to need a suction cup. You can pick these up at your local auto parts store, as well as the valve grinding compound. It's located in the gasket sealant where the Permatex RTV is. So here's the exhaust valve. Let's see how I can set this camera up here. Alright, I've got the camera set up. We're going to lap the valves here. So I've got the valve grinding compound I showed you earlier. You just take a little bit of that, put it on the tip of your finger. Try not to get it all over the place, because remember, this is gritty and it is abrasive. So you're going to have to clean all this up. So the least you can get it all over the place, the better off you're going to be. So just take a little light coat right around the seating surface. Alright, and make sure the top of the valve is clean enough for the suction cup to stick. So then you want to make sure that there's some oil on the valve guide, which there's enough there from when this was a running engine. I haven't cleaned it. So set that down in the seat. Take the suction cup, add a little spit to it possibly, or some oil, anything to make it stick. Press it down on the valve, and then you can tell by the sound it's real coarse to start with. And then you just spin it back and forth between your hands. Then you can hear that grit getting finer. Try a bigger suction cup here. I'll take the smaller one. And then pick it up, set it down, and then it gets some more of the coarse grit under it. And just applying steady downward pressure. Picking it up again. The suction cup should stick to the valve a little better. It's the exhaust valve that's not sticking as well as the intake. You can hear it's coarse again. And then just Again, I'm just getting some more coarse compound under the valve. Can do that as many times as it takes. I'm doing about 4 on this head. Then just take a rag, wipe that off, and see what you have. You'll need to wipe both the valve and the seat, and clean it up with brake clean. You can see I'm just wiping the valve. All right, you can see here. I get everything right. Let me get my light up here. You can see there's a dull gray contact area all the way around the valve. There's a couple specks of carbon right there. You could keep going, but I think we about have this one good enough. And if you look at the valve seat, you'll see the same thing. Let me get it clean. Let's hit it with a little bit of brake clean just to make it where you can see it a little better. I am going to clean these heads a lot better before they are assembled. But alright, come over here. You can see the contact ring all the way around that. It's not showing up real good, but it is an even ring all the way around the valve. And just keep doing that for the rest of the valves. At this point, it's a good idea to mark each valve with a metallic Sharpie, just so you can put them back in the right hole. Alright. Another way would be take a cardboard box and set them out in the cardboard box and label the cardboard box. I'm going to go that route just because I've got to clean the head and swap out the valve stem seals. I'm keeping the valve stem guides as there's no wear. I'll show you that process when I get done with this. As with any motor, the exhaust valves were the roughest. I actually applied the lapping compound to them twice. This is the finish you're looking for. Obviously, if you have newer valves, you could get a little better finish. A couple of these had some mild pitting, and that was the black spots earlier, not carbon. And I kept lapping them, and it came out for the most part. There's a couple that still have a few little pits. That's about as good as we're going to get. I'm pretty sure they'll seal up and run as it should. So next I'm going to just clean up the head. We'll check it for straightness. I'll show you when I check it for straightness. Alright, we're going to check the head for straightness. You have to clean all the gasket off. I've cleaned it and wiped it down. This is a 2-foot straight edge I purchased from Amazon. So I've got 1/1000 filler gauge, mainly because that's about as small as I've got, and you're able to still apply a little pressure. Will not go under the straight edge diagonally at any point. Do the other diagonal. You have to make sure again there's no trash. I move the straight edge around a little bit just to make sure nothing's under it. You can feel it kind of if it is. Nothing, 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 nothing. Then you can check it, in between each cylinder, like across the head. Nothing. Nothing. That'll go, but let's see if I've got something under it. Yep, had a piece of rag right there under it. No go. Alright, the one thing of note, you need to keep the straight edge. I mean, it is a precision piece that is, it's a thousandth of an inch over the 2 foot area is what its guaranteed straightness is. One thing of note, I did take a file, just a regular file, and go around the edge of the head, all the way around it prior to doing that. That had just got rid of any burrs. It made it nicer on my hands where I won't get cut installing the heads. And also, if the head had been hit a little bit on the edge and caused a burr, you know, that could be a few thousandths of an inch, and that would hold the straight edge up. Alright, so that's how you check a head for straightness. You can also do the same thing to the deck block. May show you that a little bit later.
Thanks for watching, y'all. We appreciate it. Like, share, comment, you know the drill, but please subscribe. Alright, talk to y'all later. Bye now.